I hope you are hungry, Domine. Lucullus is known for his lavish feasts. Do not eat anything until I've tasted it first. I wouldn't put it past the Vitellius brothers to poison this entire party just to get you and Lucullus.
What are we doing here? Didn't we prepare ourselves for the Senate hearing?
I am sure Dominus Lucullus has a reason and a plan. I would play along. My personal mission tonight is to taste each and every single dish. You may have to roll me home.
Who's in attendance tonight?
I see that Tullius Cicero and Porcius Cato are both here tonight. They are highly esteemed senators of the Optimatus faction.
Famous advocate, Cicero.
The very same. He is an orator of unmatched skill. He was trained in Greece, you know.
I wish I had some kind of weapon on me.
To what end? A blade would not help against poison.
Of course it will. Violence solves everything. Alright, I'm going in. Wish me luck.
May Fortuna smile on you, Domine. I'll be here if you need me.
Right on time. Just like a proper legatus. Welcome, son. After this long and arduous campaign, a feast is all you need.
I'd rather get my villa back and have a feast there.
All in due time. All in due time. Now, divert your attention to our guests. This is more important than you think.
Shouldn't we be preparing for the Senate?
We should, and we are. This is our preparation. The guests in this party were not randomly chosen. Our success largely depends on your conduct tonight.
Who are these people?
Well, you know Marcus Minucius Thermus. He's still thankful for your timely assistance and the saving of his life. You probably remember Marcus Aurelius Cotta as well. He seems to have brought his siblings, Lucius and Aurelia Cotta. The gentleman in the corner is Marcus Tullius Cicero. Making his acquaintance should prove to be very useful for you. I plan for him to become your advocate tomorrow. Last but not least, I've also invited Marcus Porcius Cato, who may or may not represent you as well. You see why it was important for you to be here.
Anything specific I should do?
I think not. Just be your charming self and try to win them over. And please relax. You have defeated an army of rebel pirates. This is a simple dinner party.
At least I could stab the pirates to death.
Please, try to refrain from stabbing my guests.
We'll try.
Be sure to join us at the table before you leave. I'd like to introduce you to Cato myself. And smile. And do not walk like you have just swallowed a measuring pole.
Look, that young man there. I think that's him.
Really? He looks barely old enough to wipe his own arse, let alone command a legion.
If Lucullus says he won the war, then I have no choice but to believe it.
Ah, it's good to see you again. Have some wine.
You look well, Thermus. Have you recovered yet?
My leg still hurts every now and then, and all this rain isn't helping. That is nothing compared to what could have been. You have my eternal gratitude.
I will hold you to your word.
You saved my life, and the lives of my men. Rest assured that will not be forgotten anytime soon.
Do you have any opinions on my impending Senate hearing?
It is pretty much out of my hands. I'd follow your Patronus's lead. Lucullus is a smart man who usually has a few backup plans. Even without solid evidence, he will be able to put you into an advantageous position. Nevertheless, I would advise caution. Vitellius Scaevola, and especially his brother Lurco, are ruthless and cunning. Expect the unexpected.
Do you know all of these people?
Only those who matter. Be careful around Cotta. He's still reeling somewhat from the damage that was done to his pride.
His pride? We saved his life.
To a man like Cotta, an honorable death would have been preferable to a humiliating near miss.
Ugh. Leave you to your wine.
Is Pompeius Magnus not coming tonight?
He's in Hispania, I believe.
Shit. Oh, I thought this was my chance to win his patronage.
Of course. The savior of the legions, Lucullus Wonder Kid. I knew you would be here.
Salve. I can leave if this is a private conversation.
Nonsense. It's a party after all. What would be the purpose of these gatherings if we refrained from conversation? I am Aurelia Cotta. Marcus and Lucius are my brothers. It's wonderful to meet you, Legate. We were just talking about you anyway.
Of course we were.
You were speaking of me in good terms, I hope.
We were discussing how you saved my brother's life and became the hero of the Asia campaign.
Everyone knows the value of a great leader like Marcus Aurelius Cotta. Would have been a crime not to save him.
Yet my son Gaius was not valuable enough to be saved.
That is not what I said. Gaius was a great man who seemed destined to accomplish great things. Such is the nature of war. It will keep on taking valuable lives.
Indeed. It almost took Marcus's life too. Thank you for saving at least one of the people I deeply care about.
I brought this home after your son died. It's the blade of his sword.
Oh, it's broken. This sword was my father's. It was called Croquet Morse. You were friends with him, weren't you? However briefly. Why don't you keep it? I think I still have the old schematics for it. I'll have a servant bring them to your villa tomorrow.
You seem confrontational, Marcus. Did I do something to draw your ire?
Other than saving his life?
Lucius!
Oh, please, let him talk, Aurelia. Let everyone witness the failure of Marcus Aurelius Cotta. The man who got himself captured and let his nephew die. The consul who had to be saved by a homeless runt.
I was simply doing what I was supposed to do. Just glad it led to your survival.
Soldiers follow orders. Commanders act. Perhaps in the future you can understand the difference and save more lives.
I think I'd better leave. Tough crowd, Lucullus.
Salve. I've heard a lot about you. I am Marcus Tullius Cicero.
I've heard a little about you as well.
Is that so? Few people beyond the political circles would know of me. My reputation depends largely on who's talking.
A man's actions are absolute. It doesn't matter what others say about them.
Yet, our reputations are built on how others speak of our actions, not on the actions themselves.
So what do you do, Cicero?
I'm an advocate. I defend those whom others seek to incriminate. But I'm sure a career soldier such as you would find the topic rather boring.
Not at all. I am fascinated by legal matters.
Indeed. I suppose that makes sense, especially considering the predicament you're in.
Are these all friends of Lucullus?
That depends what you mean by friend. Your Patronus, Lucullus, is a consul. Many people would claim to be his friend. There's a difference between knowing someone and merely knowing someone's name, though. Are we friends?
Well, at least I know your name.
True, my friend. You know my name.
Valet, Cicero.
That is absolutely unnecessary. I'd spend it all on farmlands. People need their food.
Indeed they do. But what good is food if it's obtained by illegitimate means? What do you think about it, Legate?
I seem to have walked into an ambush. Clearly my scouts have failed me.
Fortunately, I know you are good at handling ambushes.
Spoils of war, unaccounted for and untaxed. Should they be used for development to feed the people of Rome? A simple question.
I guess it depends on the situation. If the people are starving, sure. But we should also punish the person who committed a crime.
A fairly strong answer, I'd say. No matter how much you try to legislate, the situation at hand will defy your expectations.
Meet Senators Marcus Porcius Cotta and Marcus Tullius Cicero, who will be acting as your attorney tomorrow. At least I hope so.
Unfortunately, things have developed differently, my friend. I've decided to represent Tiberius Vitellius Scaevola instead.
What? Why?
I generally avoid prosecuting. One does not make friends that way.
Certainly an interesting turn of events. But I've heard you talking disfavorably about the Vitellius brothers before. How do you justify defending them?
What I justify hardly matters. I seek to represent them to the best of my ability, so justice can be served.
It is immoral to defend someone when you know he's guilty.
Most certainly. It would make you as guilty as they are.
Rubbish. As long as your defense itself is conducted by legal means, we must trust the system to produce the right outcome.
Legate, what guidelines did you follow when you had to decide the fate of that Triarchus? Why did you let him live?
There was no evidence to prove his guilt. Wasn't planning on taking a man's life on a mere suspicion.
Our feelings often point towards the moral path. I wonder, exactly how utilitarian are you in your thinking? I heard you had the opportunity to bribe a hired guard protecting a spy.
Stop interrogating the man, Kato. Not everyone must adhere to your high standards.
It's alright, Kikoro. I did have that option.
Yet you did not take it.
At the time, I didn't have enough money.
That means you actually would have bribed them if you could.
Well, gentlemen, this discussion has become too hypothetical for my tastes. I bid you a good day.
Wale, Kikoro. See you tomorrow.
One final question, before I retire as well.
You and your questions, Kato.
I believe if you wanted, you could enter the Pomerium fully armed. Why didn't you?
I do not need any weapons to defend myself.
So you follow the rules only because you are strong. This has been an interesting conversation, gentlemen. I thank you for it. But now, with your permission, I shall leave. Welate.
Wale, Kato.
Friends like that, who needs enemies, Lucullus?
We don't have enough evidence to condemn Vitellius Scaevola yet. But I shall try tomorrow at the Senate. Hopefully I can secure Cato's help. You should go to your villa. Be careful, though. Scaevola's thugs are still guarding it.
Don't worry, I'll take care of it.
By Jupiter, don't get yourself killed. Hire some people. Just be careful.
You look tired. Shall we leave?
Indeed. I'm exhausted with this farce. Let us leave.
So, did you enjoy yourself?
I hated every second of it. I'll be glad to leave.
You'll have to endure more of these gatherings, so I recommend getting used to them. They look heavily armed, Domine. What if they respond poorly to our demands?
In that case, we'll introduce them to our fists.
For our sake, I hope they like your fists.
If not, we have many more body parts to try.
I honestly cannot tell if you missed the joke or if you're just messing with me.
Just where do you think you're going?
Marcellus. Scalio's man from the gladiator school in Thracia, right? I'm just going inside.
You have a good memory for faces, Legati. But I'm on strict orders not to let anyone in.
Exactly how memorable are these orders? Would say 3,000 denarii be enough to make you forget them?
I guess it's time to go and eat some soup or something.
Those lousy bastards out front are leaving! Protect the villa!
You know what? This would be a perfect time for Calida to just appear and kill a bunch of them. I would not protest against Caeso either.
When he scatter you all, weaklings, prepare your last rites.
That works too?
What the? Now which one of you wants to meet the gods first?
I still got it!
fun.
We're nearly done. Go! Get the last one!
That boy knows how to make an entrance.
That was fun! These lictors knew how to fight.
Apparently, they were not good enough to stand against you and your friends.
My friends are not good. They are champions. This is nothing to them. Doesn't even qualify as practice.
They are gladiators, Domine. It is customary to pay them for their services.
Naturally. And visit Vespanius Marcellus while you're at it. All rounds are on me tonight. Enjoy yourselves.
My son? You're back. And with Cineros. Oh, it's so good to see you both safe.
It's good to see you, Domina.
I've missed you so much. You look great. Did you lose some weight? Are you eating well? Has he been eating well, Cineros?
He has, Domina.
Mother, please.
All right, I'll stop talking. But you'll have to tell me everything. Tell me about the war. I heard some of your friends died there. Killed by pirates. How did you survive?
Through skill and through luck. I'm glad to be alive.
So am I. You can't guess how glad I am. But did you like the life in the Legion? Do you want to be a career soldier?
I like the political side of it. The killing, however, doesn't appeal to me.
Just like your father.
Domina, with all due respect, I guess the legatus has his own questions. Am I wrong?
How did Scaolia's people treat you?
Oh, they were polite, mostly. Except for the fact they wanted me confined to this villa. I guess having me walking around the streets was too much of a risk. Once you were out of the picture. He had no reason to antagonize me, though.
We can be thankful for small favors. Do you really think they would have killed me?
I do. And Aculus agreed. It was a sinister plan to take over our family. But now you're here, and everything will be fine.
I'm here, but where's Liviana? Isn't she supposed to be here?
I haven't seen your sister in months. Scaevola doesn't let her out of his summer villa. She's pretty much imprisoned there.
Well, at least I can see my mother alive and well.
It's good to have you home, and for it to be our home again. Now that you're back, we have a lot of work ahead of us. Oh, listen to me. You just got here. Go on, take some time to settle in. Let me know when you're ready to get to work.
Domine? It's so good to have you back home safe and sound.
Excuse me.
Blood all over the atrium floor. I just cleaned that yesterday.
Sorry.
Have you tasted this year's batch from the vineyards? It's divine.
Domine.
Domine? Domina Claudiana has been so worried for you.
Did you prepare the study for the Dominus's return?
We took care of it this morning. Everything is ready.
Have a nice day.
Your mother has started catching me up on how the vineyards have been going since we left. The harvest was better than expected. That is good news, of course, but it also means we have a problem. One of our grapes produced a particularly good wine. It's an opulent vintage with a smooth finish. Quite frankly, Domine, it is one of the best wines I have ever tasted.
Surely you don't mean that.
Oh, but I do. And you know I've tasted a lot of excellent wines throughout my life. This wine ranks among the best of the best.
Why are you so surprised? Are our wines produced by pure chance?
Winemaking is not an exact science. We do follow recipes, but we are subject to the whims of Dionysus. Every now and then he favors you, and you may produce a wine of this caliber.
Opulent? What does that even mean?
It means the wine has a rich and smooth taste. An opulent wine is a bold wine.
These are not the adjectives I'd use for wine.
The meanings of words are rarely set in stone. Perhaps 1,000 years from now, people will use different adjectives. But today, these are the words we use.
All of this sounds like good news. So what's the catch?
The question is what we shall do with this wine. It's certainly worth more than what we normally sell for. It's the best kind of problem to have. It might be a good idea to visit some of the merchants in the market.
I might be heading in that direction today anyways. I can talk to the vintners while I'm there.
Before you leave, there's a small thing we have to decide. A good wine deserves a good name. What should we name this one?
Needs a noble name. How about Minerva's Wisdom?
Minerva's Wisdom it is. A good name, and not without a touch of irony. Very well. That being settled, you should go and talk to the wine merchants.
Finally, we're back home, Cineros. Can you believe it?
I had no doubts. You've made everyone proud, and this victory is cause for celebration. I shall cook today.
I don't completely understand how we were allowed to take the villa back.
Our legal system has its own intricacies, which no one but people like Kikaro understand. I'm sure the powers that be worked their magic.
What should I do now?
I don't know. It's your house. Sit back and relax and let your Sir-Wee handle things. Do bear in mind that managing an estate is no simple task. Now that your father is no longer with us, you will have to find a way to generate income. I think we should focus on the wine business. There used to be a lot of money in your vineyards.
I've been thinking about the Vitelli lately.
They have been silent for a long time now. Silence can be scary.
Criminals usually come after those who seek to expose them.
This time we will be prepared. Our current position is quite secure politically. Any foe should think twice before attacking us in our seat of power. I believe we're quite safe in Rome.
Vale.
Is everything well, dear?
Everything's fine, Mother. I'll talk to you later.
Have a nice day.
Everything is safe.
You don't have to stand watch here, you know.
I like this room. It's cool here. And the sound of fountain is relaxing. Sometimes I take walk around garden. Your villa is very pretty, you know.
That pink dress doesn't make you look very imposing.
I do not intend to impose. You do not like the dress?
It's a fine dress. Don't worry about it.
I like it too. Calida helped me shop for it.
So is Rome everything you were hoping?
In some ways it is. In others, it is not. City is big. I have never seen anything like it. And there are so many things to buy, so many different people. I love that. But there is a strange way people talk to me. Not because I am foreign, I think, but because I am woman. That I don't like.
Alright, well, try to have a good day, Dianera.
Are you going to feed the horses?
I am. Is there something I should know?
Don't walk behind the grey mare. A few weeks ago, she kicked a stable boy and nearly killed him.
I'll be careful.
Good, you're here. Let us begin. First, tell me what you thought about my question.
I was distracted. Can you remind me of the question?
Certainly. I wanted you to think about the meaning of life. Yours or mine, it doesn't matter. What do you think the meaning of life is? The purpose of it?
To crush your enemies.
And see them driven before you? And if you're a great warrior, won't you eventually vanquish all of your enemies? What happens then?
Someone always prevents you from achieving your goals. New enemies you can always find.
Ah, but this question is about your goals, not the way you fight to achieve them. Your reason to fight exists before you start fighting for it. It is the reason that drives us, then, not the fight itself. To understand reasons, we must understand causes. We must know the root cause of all there is and all there will ever be, the stones of which the universe is made, or what we call the first principle.
The universe is made of stones.
Not literally. But just as a house is made of stones, everything is made of something.
If everything is made of something, where does it end?
Where it ends is the first principle. No one really knows what the first principle is, but thinking about it is the first step in finding one's purpose. Opinions are divided. Some say the first principle is water. Others say it's wind, fire, or earth. What do you think the first principle might be?
Water flows, but in the cold of night I've seen it turning into ice.
Do not think of it as water itself. Anaximandros says the first principle is fluid and water-like. It is the indeterminate boundless. He calls it the realm of the infinite, which is in eternal motion. When things exist, they become finite. But when they cease to exist, they go back to the water of infinity.
We are like the basilisk. Our gaze makes things solid.
An interesting take on the tale of the basilisk. Indeed. Perhaps our actions turn our ideas into stone.
I have seen wind knocking down houses.
Ah, it is not about strength. Anaximenes believes the wind is the soul of the world, because it is the wind that makes us breathe and live. He also posits that all other elements are derived from air. Fire happens when wind blows too fast, yet water happens when the air is too slow.
He's talking about the breath that gives life to all.
Maybe. I don't think a rock has breath, though.
When mountains crack, fire comes out of the earth. It is true.
It's more about the inherent movement of fire than the destructive force thereof. Heraclitus says fire is change, and as such, the only thing that is always the same. Everything changes. Nothing ever is. We are all in the process of becoming and never stop. Change is the only common element in the world.
If fire is change, that doesn't mean everything's made of fire.
It doesn't, but it means fire is in everything.
Everything comes out of the earth, indeed.
Or maybe nothing comes out of anything. Parmenides said, nothing can ever be seen in the process of becoming. Things always just are. A process of change is just a trick of our senses. At any given moment, things are stationary.
When I fight in the arena, am I not always in the process of winning?
Maybe. But when you're running from one city to another, you have to first run half the distance, and then you have to run half of that.
Any one of those could be the answer.
And that is what Empedocles says. He believes any or all of those can be the answer. It depends on the situation or person. But I believe that to be a non-answer.
It does sound like he didn't have his own ideas.
I agree.
What do you believe the answer is?
Who knows? Thinking about the first principle is a way of thinking about the world. And only by knowing the world clearly can you know yourself.
And by knowing myself, I can know others.
He who knows himself and others can surely make better decisions. Only then you can trust your actions. Only then can you be a good man. Only then can you be free.
I do not feel free.
Perhaps because your mind is not free. A man who is not allowed to do what he wants, can such a man be truly free?
I want to find my sister, and I can't even look for her now.
Because you're free to look anywhere, but you do not know where to begin. Sometimes an abundance of freedom can be as restricting as the lack thereof. You may pursue your own happiness, but when it comes at the cost of someone else's, can you be called a good man?
Everyone has a different story. Everyone has a different idea of happiness.
True. Yet perhaps there is a commonality to all forms of happiness. Happiness is the absence of misery. If you do not know how to make people happy, then you can try to eliminate misery. By doing that, you can be a good man.
I will not truly be free unless I find her.
Or unless you conclusively decide that you will never be able to find her. It is your goal in life, Bestia. Just like your sister, you are partly stuck in the realm of ideas. You will not be complete until you find her, or find her not.
Our father sold us both, but her price was twice as high as mine.
You were a child, Bestia. No one will hold you to account for what you thought back then.
A virtuous man should always be responsible for his thoughts.
Never forget that actions always speak louder than thoughts or words. Who knows who Serwa your sister is now?
She had a peculiar birthmark on her cheek. Do you think we can find her?
Do you want me to be honest?
A virtuous man speaks truth.
What matters is not if you will find her, but what you will do if you find her.
You have given me a lot to think about.
Then I have succeeded as Magister. I can only ask the right questions. It is you who should find the answers.
Thank you, Magister.
I see him. By fire. Talking to his friend.
Let's find a way to let him down easy.
You came. And you have brought Daenerys.
Calidar is showing me around. This city is big. Bigger than I thought. We have seen many dresses. Some of them actually pink.
Hard to believe, but she was really taken by the pink-dyed dresses.
Bright red. A bright color of warning. A predator's color. Pink looks good on you, Daenerys.
Thank you. What is this place? Why are you here always?
I guess everyone has a second home of sorts. Campus Martius is yours, huh?
Maybe. I have spent so much time here. Some places cannot be left, Calidar. They live inside you wherever you go.
There! Stop right there! You're coming with us!
Please, do not make this more difficult than it needs to be.
Do you know these Landakai?
Alice.
They told me you were back in the city. I did not believe it. I do not know what kind of god possessed you, for I do not know which of these gods is more foolish.
Mars watches over us here. Mind your words.
Why have you followed me here?
You are a criminal. You are a disgrace to our family. Because of what you've done, we all will be infamous.
I care about my family as much as my family cared about me.
That much is not a surprise to me.
I didn't mean to kill him. It was an accident.
Kill whom?
Accident? It was an accident. When you drop a jug of water and it shatters, that is an accident. When you push your own husband down the stairs and shatter his skull, well, I believe they call that murder.
So you're doing Father's dirty work now?
Father is dead. I think he died of grief because his only daughter acts as if she's a man.
I'm sorry.
Does it matter? The dead do not come back.
Bestia, meet Aulus, my little brother. He's here to get me arrested.
Arrested? For what?
She killed a man.
I kill men all the time. When they deserve it.
Rome does not look kindly on women who kill men, regardless of how much the man deserved it.
Deserved? I didn't realize marriage was a capital offense.
He was treating me like a Sarah. He forbade me to practice archery and broke the bow you gave me. I wasn't even allowed to leave the villa without him.
He was your husband. He's allowed to do whatever the fuck he wants, and you're still not allowed to kill him. Yulia, please. I do not want to see you hurt. Surrender peacefully.
That sounds like a threat, little man. Threatening the wrong person can get you killed.
What? Are you her gladiator lover or something? What do you mean?
Usually, what I say.
Stop it. No one's dying today. You know I'm innocent, brother.
Innocent? I can't even recognize you. My sister was a kind and happy person who always
protected you, while Father forced you to become someone you're not.
That he did, didn't you? In return, it was always you who was beaten. That wasn't fair. But life isn't.
You owe me. Now it's your turn to protect me.
Very well. I will try to convince Mother. We're leaving, men. Yulia, stay out of sight.
You handled that very well.
Why did he leave?
He just wants to protect me.
Yet it looks like he doesn't know how.
Is your back giving you trouble? My wife is a trained masseuse. Salve legate. Are you looking for medical supplies?
How do you know I'm a legatus?
The world may be large, but Rome is smaller than you'd think in some ways. People talk, and you are mildly famous. Tell me what you need, and I shall provide you with everything.
You heal wounds and injuries. Why are you not doing this on a battlefield?
Every healer I know dreams of going to war with the legions. But bones do not only break in battle. Life in Rome can sometimes be a battlefield.
You charge people denarii for your healing in Rome. Is that immoral?
I do not charge for the act of healing. I charge for the items I use. My potions and bandages do not come cheap. It would have been fortuitous if the gods simply granted such materials. But healing is the art of mortal hands, and mortal hands need denarii.
What do you actually sell?
I have some linen I can spare. You could buy some if you want to make bandages. This bottle could also prove to be interesting for you. It's a concoction that works against the effects of many poisons.
A concoction that eases the symptoms of poison. Is poison a problem people commonly face in Rome?
The machinations of the senatorial class can occasionally turn very bitter indeed. I'm sure I don't have to tell you that.
Let me buy some from you then.
Good. You should make sure to consult a trained healer in mixing this, however. The wrong application could turn ugly.
I need some linen for fresh bandages.
Of that, I have plenty. How many do you need? Thank you. Let us hope you'll never have need of them.
Vale.
It is good the smith Sextus has returned from the war. I've missed his work greatly.
He's working on new locks for me already. I've been asked to change all the locks in my Dominus's villa.
Here is our Patronus. Refusing his request would shame us greatly.
But he's asking too much of you.
This will be good for our family. It'll show everyone how loyal we are.
Boys, look who's here. Our new favorite patron.
Away, Legati! Make way for the man who paid for your wine and whores.
Speak for yourself, fool. I never paid for something I can get for free. It is good to see you, Legate. Do you need anything? Name it, and it is yours.
The money I gave you, did you spend it all on a horse?
Mostly. What better use can you think of for such hard-won denarii?
You could have invested in something?
We're gladiators, Legate. If we have an off day at work, we die. Not much room for long-term investment in this life.
I don't know. Maybe I can start a school if I pay my debts off.
I pity the fool who'd have you as a Lannister.
How can you drink this much and still be able to fight tomorrow?
Who says we'll be able to fight tomorrow?
But if you can't fight, you will die.
Maybe. You can't know that for sure. And that's what makes it fun. It's the fear of death that fills you with the joy of life. We're in it for the joy. If you don't live in the moment, you will die in a moment.
Don't forget the girls. They're the real reason we do it.
I don't know what I need. What can you offer me?
Besides wine and our undying gratitude? Probably nothing. Unless you need us to beat up someone else for you.
Have you people ever thought of joining the Legion?
Not on your life. It's hard work being a legionarius. And nobody cheers for you when you best your foe.
Gladiators don't always make good soldiers. We fight to entertain.
Carry on, gladiators. Enjoy your evening.
A toast to the health and honor of the legatus. Once more.
You came.
Are you surprised?
That much should be clear from the look on my face. But I really didn't expect you to appear here, of all places.
Why? What's wrong with this place?
Nothing. I just thought it'd be a bit beneath your station as an honorable legatus of Rome. But obviously that's my mistake. Woman, bring us a fresh jug. My friend is still sober, and that's simply not acceptable. Now, what are we drinking to?
To the fallen.
May they drink the finest nectar in the halls of Hades. That hit the spot. Another one?
I can drink another one.
I'll tell you a secret. I can always drink another one. Another! Keep it pouring! And then I said, well, what can you say in that situation? Obviously, I asked, is that really a goat? Or a sorry excuse for a tent pole?
Obviously.
I know. You know what people say in Africa? Wine makes the soul come out of you. You're all right, my friend. You're all right.
Thank you. You're not so bad yourself.
I'm glad you came. Friendships that develop in war don't always stand the test of peacetime.
You've been to many lands, haven't you?
More than I could count. I've walked on so many different kinds of soil, seen so many faces, and broken so many hearts.
This wine is really good.
Marcellus Vipsenius is the best. Some say he's working on the recipes of the legendary Margot himself. Others say he smuggles his wine from Carthage.
Ever thought of settling down?
An amusing notion. Should I also get a wife and make a few little brats of my own?
A couple of tiny copies of you running around. Sounds fine to me.
Not me. I'm an adventurer at heart, and an adventurer never rests. Sure, life is full of pain and misery, but it's also full of beauty and wonder. You should endure the former and live for the latter. There's so much to experience still. To people like us, settling down is like death, something you don't long for, nor expect.
Another jug, Domini.
That will be all, Soa.
Actually, I wanted to talk to you, Domina. May we perhaps retreat to a private chamber?
That's all right. I was about to leave.
But I'm not, and I have no interest in going anywhere with this Soa. Out with it, woman. What do you want?
I think I am with child. You are the father of my child. Future child. Don't you remember me, Aquilinos?
What?
She sounds genuine.
That she does. But I've never seen this woman in my life.
You told me you would not remember me afterwards. And I respected that in a way, but now I need your help. Marcellus Vipsanius doesn't like his girls giving birth. He's a cruel man. I remember how kind you were to me. My child deserves better. Our child. Even if you don't want to have anything to do with me, I want our child safe and away from this shithole. Will you save me?
You could purchase her if you want.
Indeed. Perhaps we should inform the Kensos.
Quit bothering the guests, look here. These jugs will not deliver themselves.
Help me, please.
Quickly, Sour.
The night has taken an unusual turn. I apologize.
Do you really not remember her?
I don't. But I do tend to forget some things when I'm drunk. Still, I find it hard to believe I'd forget the mother of my own child.
Do you think she was telling the truth?
Maybe. Well, not entirely. Times like these, I wish Calida were here. That woman has a knack for spotting a lie.
What will you do?
I don't know what to make of any of this. I'll have to think.
Let me know if there's anything I can do to help.
Thank you, my friend. That means a lot. You go. I suddenly have much to think about.
Grania, wife of Paulus Belventius.
That's me.
Domina, it is with great sorrow that I bring word from the Imperator.
Don't.
Your husband was killed in the siege of Chalcedon.
Stop.
He fought courageously and gave his life in the service of Rome.
Go. Leave.
I'm sorry for your loss.
Get out.
It's the young girl with the auburn hair on the second floor, on the corner.
Ah, indeed, she is a pretty one. I can see why he pines for her.
I wish she'd just take the boy in and give him what he wants so he'll stop moaning about her outside my window. It's every night now.
If I were you, I would just empty the chamber pot on his head.
I couldn't. He reminds me of my dear Noctua.
You don't understand. We love each other. Ask her yourself.
My daughter will not be seen with anyone from your family. If I ever catch you sneaking around here again, I'm going to gut you like a fish. Now get out!
Could I possibly pay you to send one of your apprentices to my house?
I'm sure we can arrange that. What seems to be the problem?
My house is built over the cloaca. There is a smell recently.
Oh, I see. I'll send someone out to you tomorrow, and we'll get that looked at.
You've sent the birds to shit on my stall.
Are you out of your mind? You think I can command the birds?
They only shit on my crates, never on yours.
What difference does it make? Your crates are already full of shit.
So you found me again. But you're a civilian now. Here you are, just another customer in my smithy.
My favorite grumpy old iron pounder.
Only because you've never met any of my competitors, I'm sure. I don't suppose you're in the market for some carpentry tools?
I let my samurai handle such things, but I will tell them to purchase all metal tools here from now on.
A fine gift for this humble smith. For my service to your legion, I assume. Much obliged. Tell you what, I do have something here you might be interested in. Have you ever heard the legend of the Ankylias?
Shield of Mars? Of course I have.
Well, it just so happens I have come into possession of one of the replicas created by Numa Pompilius.
You wish to sell me a replica of a shield?
Or perhaps it's the original. Who knows? But you see, even a replica, ancient and storied as it is worth a small fortune. If nothing else, it's an exquisite artifact of a bygone age.
If it were the original, I believe the legends prescribe that Rome will only stand as long as the Inquile is preserved.
Then, if you buy it from me, you should take good care of it.
Why are you manning the stall yourself? Should you not have an assistant for this so you can spend your time at the forge?
You are as savvy in business as you are in warfare, I see. I do have an assistant, my daughter. She is all I can afford. But today she is with her teacher learning history or Greek or some other such high-minded nonsense. The hope is if he fills her head with enough such drivel, she will find a wealthy husband so she'll never have to peddle my pots and pans again.
Why not? I will purchase your replica.
A fair price, I should say. Very well. The Ankylae is yours. I cannot guarantee that it once belonged to a god, but you have my word that it is a good shield, and it will serve you well should you ever use it in combat.
I'll see you around, Sextus.
Just go talk to him. Not when he's at work. Then I'll never know if he's just being nice to me because he's being paid to be.
Come on, girl. You think a plebeian boy like that would say no to someone with your family tree?
This is the place. This is where my statue will be erected.
Well chosen, Domine.
We'll have to get rid of this hideous pavilion, of course.
Of course, Domine.
And that column. My statue will have to be taller than the column.
Why not just have the column destroyed, Domine?
Brilliant idea. Write that down.
Oh. At once, Domine.
A fine reward is offered for the return of a horse stolen from the stables of Proculus Sinicius Hilario.
My galley is 3 weeks overdue.
Do you think a storm has taken them?
Don't even say it. That would be the end of me. I would be ruined. I pray every day and to all the gods for that ship to show up.
Is your back giving you trouble? My wife is a trained masseuse.
Hey! Over here! Brother! Brother! It's so good to see you again. How have you been?
I've been so worried about you, Liviana. How is he treating you?
For some reason, Skyavola is treating me like a queen. I do not know why. Maybe he's afraid I'll be collecting information for you. I'm starting to think his brother Lorco wants me to be on his side. Skyavola is trying to keep his brother away from me. I may be able to use that to our advantage. I'm afraid we don't really have much time. They are tailing me, following all of my moves.
Who is following you?
Lorco and his men. He insists it's for my own security, but there's something unsettling about his smile. I don't know what it is. I think Lorco is more dangerous than Skyavola by far. He runs all of their business and everyone acts like they're working for him. Even my husband's lictors.
How did you know I'd be here? Have you been waiting long?
A little while. I sent her Serwa to stake out our villa. She ran and fetched me as soon as she saw you leave for the market.
What do you think Scalia is planning next?
It is hard to guess. He acts as if he's a man without any ambition. We both know that is not correct, though. I think they're working on something. Unfortunately, paranoia reigns in Villa Vitellia. They cover their tracks well and hide everything, even from their own people.
Are you collecting information for me? You really don't have to do that.
You're wrong. I do have to do this. It's the only way I can help you work against them and maybe one day avenge our father.
Might be able to get you out of there.
That's the last thing we should consider. I think I'm supposed to serve as bait. and something like that is exactly what they're waiting for. Besides, I'm much more useful to you as Vitellius Skyevola's wife.
Ballet, sister. Take care of yourself and don't take too many risks.
Thank you, but I don't think I have a choice in that. I will send a server to your kitchen door with instructions for where to meet me next week.
Or is it just me? It isn't you. The bread is getting worse. I've noticed it as well.
The Collegium Pistorum is not what it used to be.
The problem is Egypt. The conflict of succession is interrupting the grain supply.
Typical. Perhaps it's time Rome takes a more direct interest in how that country is governed.
Wide selection of wines from Greece and Africa. Wines for every taste and every budget.
I have the best wine in Rome, I guarantee it. Oh, wait. What brings you to the land of wine today? If wine is what you seek, you have come to the right place. My wine is much better than those of Marcellus Vipsanius.
The land of wine.
That's what I call it. This area of the market belongs to the Collegium Venariorum. We are an association of all the wine merchants in Rome.
I'm aware. My family has done much business with you.
Oh, indeed. I recognize you now. Welcome to my stall, then. Are you looking to sell?
What's so special about Marcellus Vipsanius?
He prioritizes customer satisfaction at the cost of morality and the law. He lies, cheats, and threatens. In the end, he acquires the best vintages.
Do you all produce wine?
Some of us do, but many of us purchase wine from vineyards and sell it here at the market.
I have some wine in need of a buyer. Perhaps you are interested in making a good deal.
I would be very interested. But the rules state that I have to call the other merchants for a tasting. We each must have an equal opportunity.
Gather around and get ready for the best tasting of your life.
Exciting! This is brilliant. Exquisite. The best wine I have tasted this year. You know, your father and my father used to trade, but I do not believe they ever achieved this level of excellence.
I do not know, Quintus. It does have a harsh finish.
I would call it nutty. Some really good wine, though. I could sell this for years. Dominic, would you consider a 5-year deal? I'm willing to buy a 5th of your stock this year, and another 5th next year, and so on. For each batch, I would offer you 1,000 denarii.
I won't risk that. Tastes change, and demands change with them. I'll pay you 3,500 denarii. Sure, it is less than you'd get from Cordius over 5 years, but I want all of this wine now.
I agree, it is a good wine. I will buy all of your stock right now, and I'll pay 4,000 denarii, more than Quintus is willing to part with. Half now, and half when I take delivery.
Why should I accept your offer, Quintus?
I am an honest trader, Legate. My father used to deal with your father before either of us was born. I will sell your wine to the best clients and pay for all of it up front.
Best clients, eh? Cordius, tell me why I should accept payment in installments.
The deal favors us both. I pay less now, and you have greater profits in the long term.
Your offer is generous, Vipsanius, but will you honor it?
It's good money. More than what Quintus pays, and you'll get paid as soon as I take delivery. In exchange, your wine will be sold at the best tavern in Rome. It's an offer you cannot refuse.
I've reached my decision.
I'm sure you've made the right choice, and that you know what's good for you.
Your offer makes sense, Cordius, but considering that as the remaining stock of this vintage dwindles, demand will soon exceed supply, driving the price up. I must also factor in the cost to me of storing the wine.
Your business acumen is impressive. I agree to your terms and revise the offer. I shall pay you 6,000 denarii over the next 5 years.
Preposterous. You can't make a deal with these fools. Mark my words, you will regret this. I give you one last chance to change your mind.
I don't like your tone, Vipsanius. Now get out of my sight before I lose my temper.
You have missed out on a great business venture.
I will make the arrangements at once. You will receive the first installment soon.
Fine wine from the beautiful hills of Latium.
Everything is safe.
Excuse me.
Excuse me.
Is everything well, dear?
Our standing is much improved thanks to my achievements in Greece. It's time to begin restoring the villa and expanding our business.
They told me Lucullus is your patronus now. That means our family reputation will be restored.
That and more.
Lucius!
Salve, Claudiana. I wanted to arrive sooner, but we had work to do at the Senate. The villa is legally yours. The Trinity of Rights has been restored as yours and yours alone, Legate.
My sister, Liviana?
She's still married to Sciawella, and there's nothing we can do about that. However, now that you're here, I suggest you turn that into an advantage.
I don't know how we can ever repay you, Lucius.
There's no need to repay anything. You of all people should know that, Claudiana. This was not a transaction.
Still, I'll find a way to repay you.
I'll keep that in mind.
Is that it? But what if they...
Don't worry, Claudiana. No one can harm your family as long as I am alive. Everything will be fine.